WERE Cleveland Heights, WENZ HD2, and WZAK HD3 Cleveland. This is a paid program brought to you by STARFISH Speaks. The views and opinions expressed are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of this station or its management.
WERE 1490. We're so pleased to be here to bring you current information about resources in our community, hot topics in education, and ideas to make parenting your special needs child and young adult enriching and hopefully fun. We hope you'll join us in our discussion today by calling 216-578-1490. We hope Starfish Speaks becomes an important part of your Sunday afternoon, so grab a cup of coffee and join us in our discussion. I'm Donna Gilcher with co-host Greg Stewart.
Good afternoon.
And we are delighted to highlight Monarch Lifeworks program. We have Rachel Lloyd. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
She's the director of Monarch Transitional education program at the Monarch Center for Autism, and she's joined Monarch in 2010 as an intervention specialist and then supervisor of Monarch Transition Education Program. She oversees 8 school teams of students 14 to 22. That seemed like an awful lot when I was thinking about it.
It's
comprised of 51 students and 41 staff. That is a huge program it's gotten to be. So welcome. We're so glad to have you here.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Secondly, we have Ann Hayes. She studied graphic design and began at the Monarch Center for Autism Boarding Academy as a summer job and hasn't left yet. She found her purpose.
Some things in common.
She found her purpose. Oh.
She has a graphic design background, too.
That is right, Greg.
Yes,
I forgot about that.
That's right.
She fell in love with working with individuals with autism and the mission of Monarch, working as a youth counselor, and then took on a role in developing one of the vocational opportunities for young adults called the Soap Shop. Since 2015, she's been vocational project coordinator of Lifeworks. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We always think people start their life off and you think you know what your path is, but sometimes someone else higher up sometimes will direct it a different way.
Yeah,
so we're real excited to have you guys here. So if you can start with us, and first of all, we want to be able to make sure that all of our listeners realize we've been talking a lot, and you guys haven't been with us, a lot about transition, because that's probably the scariest part for most parents. Most parents have figured out the K-12 and the preschool pieces.
Sure.
And so we spent a lot of time talking about that, and oftentimes parents don't realize that transition starts actually in preschool.
Right.
But, the IEP makes it start at 14. But then even if we do good IEPs, sometimes we get to the end, and what do we do? And that's a big question that a lot of parents have. So
That's the big question mark.
It is the biggest question mark. So for those of us listeners who aren't familiar of the Monarch Center for Autism, can you just give us a little history?
Yes. So the Monarch Center for Autism it opened in 2000. So we opened as just a day school. So we are considered a chartered non-public. So we are licensed by the State Board of Education of Ohio. And then from there, it started as a very small program, a small number of students, a small number of staff, and we've just grown tremendously over the past many years. So just first came the Monarch the school, and then there was a need for residential treatment, and that's when the Monarch opened their boarding academy in 2004. From there, our preschool opened in 2006. And again, with the growing needs and realizing how important it was to focus on those transition skills, post-secondary living skills, the transitional program began in 2010. And from there, you learn more about students are starting to age out and what's next. And Monarch realized that it was important to start sharing the model and the services into the adult world. So it started with Monarch Hall, which is a residential, it's on the Belfair campus where Monarch School is, but it's a residential place for adults. And that falls under Lifeworks. So from there, the adult Sorry, I know I'm a fast talker.
Yeah, you got to slow down. I was having a hard time processing.
I know.
Yeah, I was following like, okay, I'm with
Right, I know. I still said
It's a
I
lot
knew
of
I was going to
information
do
to
it.
give. We just want to give it all.
So then in 2012, we opened the first of the adult programs within Lifeworks. So that is MAP, the Monarch Adult Autism Program.
Yeah, they actually started in the basement of one of our administration buildings with just 6 individuals. And since then, we've grown. We've opened our second location. It'll be a year in January, and we're up to about 60 adults on the autism spectrum between our 2 day programs.
60 adults.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right,
a lot.
I didn't realize it was that big, and
Right.
I got to tell you, I've been with Monarch since back in 2000 when you with the preschool. I mean, I've known about everything. I did not realize.
Yep, the need for the adult services was just noticed, once they kind of were working with that Monarch Center for Autism. And since then, we've just been growing, and the need is there. And so we've
keeps going.
been able to
I've heard
provide
of
that.
it, but I never actually knew what it was for real until now. So it's true what they say. You're never too old to learn.
You know what? There's things in your backyard. All right, so what is then? Let's go into detail. What is the Monarch Autism Transitional Education Program, and why is Monarch's Transitional Education Program unique of other 14 to 21-year-old programs?
So the Monarch, the transition program, our focus is very much on independent living skills and looking at the students, what's driving their IEP from their transition plan. So post-secondary goals in regards to independent living, employment skills, post-secondary skills related to employment or education, all those different things. So we really do look at the whole child and what their interests are, what their family has expressed as interests, things where they see their lives going, and we really work with our students very individually and closely to build on their skills to prepare them as much as we can to be able to function as independently as possible when they leave us. So the way that our program is set up, it's very different than a traditional classroom experience. We have 8 teams total, so that's 8 lead intervention specialists, and under each intervention specialist is 3 to 4 associate teachers. So our associate teachers are delivering academic content. They are job coaches out in the community with our students. They are delivering services in regards to activities of daily living, independent skills within the building. And then we also have OTs and CODAs that are working on occupational therapy skills.
What's a CODA?
A CODA is a certified occupational therapy assistant.
Oh, okay.
So they work with the
Partner with
OT.
them.
So there's our OT department. They work very closely on a wide variety of skills. When you think OT, you think more physical manipulation, things of that nature. But they're working on coping skills. They're working on social emotional things, and they really work full circle with all of the members of our interdisciplinary team at all of Monarch School, which consists of the intervention specialists, associate teachers. We have a great behavior team, speech therapy team and department, as well as our occupational therapy department.
Wow. Okay. So the I want to make sure that the piece that's more unique, what I heard, is really instead of the kids doing a part-time academic program and stuff, really the MTEP program is really focusing at this point straight on those independent living life skills. Where some of the high schools will continue the academic
we are
pieces.
still working on academics.
Oh, you're still doing the academics.
Yes, we definitely
Okay.
are still doing academics. So with some of our students, where they are in regards to their reading levels and their math levels, they have some great skills, but then we're really focusing on how to use their reading skills to help them be successful as it relates to work.
To the job.
Yes, as well as community skills as it relates to math, being able to actually know how to count your money and make a purchase within the community. So starting things more simulated in our environment, we have a MTEP Mart, which is like a little mini convenience store where students can make purchases at the end of their day at their lunches. So our students, they go out to work. We have over 20 partnerships with community work sites. So our students are going out for vocational training experiences, and they earn what we call MTEP dollars. So they can actually use that money to purchase items of their interest to help keep them motivated, because when you work, you earn money. And, we can't pay our students real money for these training experiences, but we pay them their MTEP dollars, and then they work in our MTEP Mart, and they provide, so they're learning how to make those transactions and simulated experiences within our building as well as out in the community.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right. So then, as I was doing a little bit of research, I was trying to figure out how this connection between the Monarch Transitional Education Program and this Monarch Lifeworks works. So is it a separate program? Is it a companion program? Is it an extension of the Monarch's program? How's that working?
Sure. So Lifeworks came about, like I mentioned ahead of time, because we saw the need there for a program and services for adults after the transitional education program. So we do have very similar mindset as the transitional program. Currently we have 4 different teams that we're working with. We are also out in the community daily at different vocational sites and working with that and the individuals. So we're very similar. We are not a continuation. There is an assessment process that would happen if you're interested to come from Monarch Transitional Education Program to Lifeworks to make sure that's a good fit. But we are very similar, with our services.
So I'm assuming then that what it is a matter of somebody could come from Monarch, but they don't have to.
Yes. Yeah.
Correct.
So we are separate programs. So the Monarch model is what drives a lot of our programming, and the Monarch model is utilized in both the day program at the school as well as in the Lifeworks program. So that those things are very similar, but in regards to post-secondary transition and planning, everything is really individualized for each student preparing for that transition. So some of our students, they are very geared and prepared for full or part-time employment. They are looking for a different experience. So it's not necessarily every student that attends the Monarch Center for Autism will just automatically move into the Lifeworks program. Lifeworks has their own assessment process, like Anna just shared, where they come in and evaluate the young students that we have in our program and see if they are a good fit for the program that they provide. And because there are a lot of similarities, it's good continued practice, but it's not a definite that one translates directly to the other.
So
Okay.
Can a young adult participate in the Monarch program or be able to attend the Autism Traditional Educational or Adult Training Program?
So the Lifeworks program is open. It's to all the community.
Oh, okay, cool.
Correct.
All right.
Yep. You can get referrals into our program, and then we have a clinical coordinator that goes and does assessments either out in the community or on site with us to see if that would be a good fit for the individual and for our program if we had a good team to fit them on.
So could a school district also use you as an add-on to their educational program? Or not? Since Lifeworks, you have to have graduated or be 18, is that correct?
Correct, yes. So we take
Okay.
18 and over.
So it's 18
Okay.
and over. And the MTEP program, you have to be a student at Monarch
Yes,
to participate in
yes.
it. Okay, that was the piece I was
Right.
missing. Greg, I'm like, that's a good question, but I'm trying.
Yes,
I
that's
still
why-
was
Yes.
missing that
Right.
piece.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
That's
So
why it's not the
the-
full continuation from transitional education program because we do open it to the community as well, to school districts, to all
Anybody
county
and
SAs
everybody.
can reach out to
Okay.
us and get that referrals
All
in
right.
place.
So then you're working with Opportunities for Ohioans with Disabilities. You're working with the developmental disability boards as well as part of that.
Correct. Yes, we do a lot of partnering with the support administrators from the counties and a lot of referrals through that process.
All right. Well, then that helps.
Resources are a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah. Well, so that
Yes.
then helps answer some of the questions
Good.
because I know. Monarch School program is expensive. I can't even tell you. At least once a week, we have a phone call at Starfish of a family who says, I really want my child to go to Monarch. Can you help us get there? And I have to say, well, we may be able to, we may not, but out-of-district placements aren't easy to get. And Monarch's very expensive when it comes to them. It's all driven by the IEP team and driven by need, and we go through that whole piece, and they're like, So, can they start next week? No.
Right.
It takes a little bit of process with it. And, you know, the Autism Scholarship has helped some with families because that's $27,000 that can go towards the Monarch tuition, which is still, you know, over $80,000 a year. And so how are families funding the autism adult training programs?
That is similar to, we do get funding through the waivers.
Okay.
So the IO waiver, the SELF waiver, the level 1 waiver, then we do have some private pay as well. But a lot of times you work with the county, with your support administrator, and they're able to get you through that waiver process. And then that is how we accept our funding and our payment.
Okay. So is any of the individuals' work skills able to be, any of their work time be able to offset some of their cost of participation?
Not currently. That's not an option currently for us, but we are looking down the road that we are interested in doing employment services and branching out to be able to offer those type of services as well. So, you know, I'm not sure how that would play into it down the road.
All right. Awesome. Well, we definitely want you to join the conversation. So if you'll give us a call, 216-578-1490. Let's take a quick break here. When we come back, I want to talk about something that you guys talked about, calling Monarch shops and whatever. But before...
Everything you need to know about Cleveland sports, news, weather, and more is at newstalkcleveland.com. For instant updates, follow us on Facebook at newstalk1490 and on Twitter at newstalk1490.
If you need cash now, you need WeFixMoney.com. WeFixMoney.com could help you get up to $2,000 sometimes by tomorrow. And you don't need perfect credit. It's free to apply and available 24/7 from your computer or smartphone. Get up to $2,000 for rent, bills, childcare, expenses, car repairs, or anything else. Trust WeFixMoney.com. Trust the name you know. WeFixMoney.com.
If you're having a crisis or dealing with a dangerous situation, there is someone who can help. Did you know that RTA buses and trains are safe places? Look for the yellow diamond-shaped Safe Place signs on all vehicles and at various RTA locations. If you are in crisis, get to a Safe Place vehicle or location and let the bus or train operator know, and he or she will contact the transit police, whom will immediately get to your location and assist. There is no fee for Safe Place assistance. Log on to riderta.com/Safe Place for more information. This is a WERE public service announcement.
Hello, this is Donna Gilcher of Starfish Speaks. Join us every Sunday, 1 to 2 on WERE 1490 to discuss hot topics in education. We will talk about resources in the community that address the needs of children with disabilities and enhance the lives of parents and much more. So join us every Sunday, 1 to 2 on WERE 1490 for Starfish Speaks. If you have a question, we have answers.
WERE Cleveland Heights, WENZ HD2, and WZAK HD3 Cleveland.
Welcome back. I hope you're enjoying listening to Starfish Speaks. And if you are, we ask to see if you'll consider making a tax-deductible donation to support our programming. It's really easy to do. All you have to do is type into your computer www.paypal.me/Starfish Speaks and leave us a donation. $5, $10, it all adds up. We are looking for help in being able to support our community programming. So, welcome back. We got questions for you guys.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, because I've been like into this whole thing and it's been sparking my interest a whole lot. Can you let us know what exactly are the Monarch shops and how they got started?
Yeah, so the shops started with just a single shop, our soap shop. We had one of our staff members had an idea about just a project for making soap. For some of the students, and it kind of just evolved from there. We actually, our supplier of all of our materials for our soap shop. It actually is a family of one of our students, and so they started working closely together in regards to providing materials, getting ideas, mixing scents, teaching the children the skills, learning the process itself. And it just evolved from there. And our shops have continued to grow. So now we have our soap shop, which was the first of our training opportunities. And then we developed into our note shop. So that is actually taking artwork that's created with our art therapist, and it's condensed down. And so they'll do note cards that the students then fold, and they put stickers on the back. They package them together that are available for sale when we have our sales at the school. And from there, we actually have a classroom that runs, it's called our Barkery and Meow Mart, which are all natural cat and dog treats. So that's really using those activities of daily living in regards to reading a recipe, learning to use kitchen equipment, and then from there, packaging, counting, sorting the flavors of the treats, as well as how many go in a package, learning how to use the sealer, all the steps involved with that. And as we've grown, we've also grown, have now a great horticulture program, and we call it the Plant Shop. So they do a variety of different things. It's sometimes it'll shift. They'll do painted pots. For our winter sale coming up, they are doing scented sensory pillows. So they actually, with the students, they devised some different scents, and they went around and did a vote about which scents will be available for sale at our winter sale. So those are our main focused shops within the Monarch shops at the school.
So you just planted the seed and it just grew from there.
It did.
Okay.
One little project from one staff member evolved into a lot of really great things.
Yeah, my grandma used to always say, all you got to do is just sit back. We'll plant the seed, sit back, and watch what happens.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And that's kind of where I kind of stepped in. When I was at Monarch Transitional Education Program, I was part of their soap shop. So I was helping in there, making those soaps, getting that all out, promoting that. And my thought process behind that was, I'd really like to make this into something bigger. What else can we do with this? We have a lot of interest. And on our transitional education program was looking really to do it as a vocational training site, more, an on-site, let's teach them here. And I was looking, what else could we do? And so that's when I reached out to Lifeworks. They have their Lifeworks boutique now that I help manage. And we are doing something very similar with the soap. We are reading the recipes. We're teaching them those basic steps. They come in, they help cut down that soap, add the scent, add the color. It's great for the sensory input with the scents and the colors and the textures. And sometimes the scents might be too much for them, for that type of individual. So maybe they help with the packaging, labeling process. We've really found that through this whole process, we were able to find a piece of the puzzle that any individual can participate in, as well as going out to farmers markets and selling the products there as well, and get involved in the community.
And I like how you did that piece of the puzzle, because that puzzle piece is something that the autism community uses all the time.
Exactly.
All right. So we have Louise on line 1. Welcome, Louise, to Starfish Speaks. What
Hi there.
Do you have for us?
I have a 21-year-old son with ASD who is doing very well right now in his major in college. He's majoring in computer something or other. And he's expressed an interest in being a solopreneur. And so I'm wondering if you have information on what kind of financing is available for a self-employment startup for people with autism. Thank you.
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
That's a very good question.
Currently, we don't have much information regarding that just on our end. We currently serve moderate to severe autism, so we don't really have the connection with the community or the college world quite yet. We are hoping to advance our services and get into that employment services down the road, where we'll be able to offer something more similar to that. But currently on our front, my knowledge, I don't have much information regarding finances for that type of.
See, and that's a tough one, because I got to tell you, it's, you guys have created this great thing for the moderate to severe.
Correct.
But we have, as Louise talks about, her child's in college. So there's this group of kids in autism that also have autism that are from the high functioning to the moderate.
Right.
That may be able to, with lots of supports and whatever, make it through college. But then when they get to the work field, that's where it falls apart and people are talking. I mean, this is the hot thing, the solar entrepreneurship,
It is, yes.
this micro thing. I know that the state of Ohio has been talking about this. You know, we talked about it a couple weeks ago with LEAP, because it's the entrepreneurship program has been reborn with the Developmental Disabilities Board and with OOD, but there's so little information and
that.
it's great, but you know, you got to have finances to start a business. How do you find the finances?
And that point, you know, it's very important to stay closely connected with the county board because that is really who's going to help with those types of things, or OOD. So keeping close connections with providers to help with those specialized employment options.
All right. So Louise, thank you for calling in with your question. It's a great question. And I'm actually writing it down because I think, you know what, Greg, this is one we're going to have to, this micro entrepreneurship is one we're going to have to explore and find out. We're going to find some people. We're going to get some people in here to be talking about how to do that.
Exactly. It's time to sit down and brainstorm and get some people and some stuff together. Networking.
Yeah, I think there is. It's a networking kind of thing. I think we definitely have to. All right.
Definitely.
So
I know in the county there is a service or a group called the Employment Collaborative that we have been, to meetings with as well. And that might be someone that would be able to provide a little bit more information regarding, job placement or entrepreneurships for people that are interested in starting up a business or finding that job placement.
Yeah, having those people come in and talk. All right. So you've talked a lot about the shops. So where can our listeners go by? I was thinking note cards because, I love note cards. And whatever. I'm thinking, oh, no, I didn't see that. I didn't know we're doing note cards. So where can people buy these products? And can they get them on the internet? Because we have listeners all over the country.
Sure.
So there's a separation between Lifeworks and the program through MTEP, through the day school program. So our products are really, the focus is on the training experience for the students, giving them job skills. So we don't have a website. The Monarch School does not have a website and go out and do big sales within the community. We have 2 to 3 sales on campus throughout the year in our main building on the Belfair campus. So that's where the dog treats and some of our soap products, Note Shop, that's where that will be. So we have a sale coming up on December 12th.
Can anybody come to that sale?
As far as I know, if people are in the area and it's in our main building at the A building in the.
So those of us, those people that don't know where the A building or where
the main big building, right in the center of campus.
Okay, so where you guys are located? Where are you guys located?
So the address to Monarch. So the Monarch School is housed on the Belfair JCB campus, which is 22001 Fairmount Boulevard in Shaker. So that is where that is. But Lifeworks will also be there.
Yes, we are partnering with the Monarch shops this year at that sale on December 12th. So we will be there as well at the main campus A building in Fairmount. Lifeworks also has a Facebook page, Lifeworks Boutique. You can search us there. We keep you updated on different sales we're at, different events we're at, new products. We're going to just be launching our new holiday scents coming out. We got some evergreen pine, some gingerbread cookie, peppermint, holiday berry. Right. Yeah, so those will be coming out this week. They should be posted up on the Facebook page, as well as we do have a website. So we are at www.lifeworksadultautism.org. It tells you a little bit more information on our program there, our mission, and then there is a place you're able to shop online as well. So you can purchase all of our products there. We have soaps, shea butter and aloe lotions, sugar body scrubs, soy candles, and we do ship as well. So you're able to purchase on that.
Can you give us slowly, again, that web address?
Sure. It's www.lifeworksadultautism.org.
All right, Lifeworks Adult Autism, and we'll make sure to put it up on our website too, as well, so that we've got them. Excellent. All right.
I can finish my last bit of Christmas shopping.
They are really great products.
Absolutely. Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa shopping.
Great gifts for everybody. Take it home, keep for yourself, pass it on to your friends, whichever.
Exactly.
Well, I can vouch for the soaps only because it's a standard in our family. Soaps from the soap shop in the Christmas stockings. and whatever. I send them out as little gifts out to friends and whatever, the puzzle piece ones and stuff like that. And they'll go, wow, that's so unique. Where did you find that? I'm like, hey, I can't give you my resource. Now you guys are giving it out.
Exactly.
All right. So sounds awesome, all those things. So what are the goals going forward for the students in the day school program? Because now I've heard this now 3 times from you, so I'm getting it. That if you're in the day school, doesn't automatically mean you get to go to the Lifeworks program.
Right.
And so what's the goal for the students that are in the MTEP program? And then after you finish, Anna, then if you could tell us, what's the goal for the students in the Lifeworks program?
Sure.
Okay, so the major goals for all of the students within the transition program really is focusing on independence and how we can make our young men and women in our program as independent as possible to prepare them for life after high school. So some of our students do have goals of wanting to pursue living independently in an apartment or living in a group home environment or living in some type of supported environment. And other families and students, their plan is to stay home for a couple of years and spend a little more time with the family and eventually branch out from there. So we want to do whatever we can to prepare our students for whatever life will bring to them. So learning how to prepare a recipe, knowing how to go to the grocery store and identify what you need, learning how to go through the refrigerator before you even go to the grocery store and make a list of things that you need, what's expired, that you need to replace, and how to find those things, where to go, how to wait in line appropriately, how to use a debit card, balance your budget, how to do all the steps that are required within doing a load of laundry. To some people, it's a single thought, starting a quick load of laundry. But when you really break down a task analysis of all of the steps involved in doing your laundry, there's a lot that's involved.
Yeah,
so learning all of those skills to do all of those things.
So you don't have all pink or all gray?
Exactly. Exactly.
You knowing how to, the dryer stopped, you opened it up. Well, it stopped, so I'm taking everything out. But when you actually feel it, recognizing some of these clothes are still damp, I need to start it again. So those little things that sometimes we take advantage of, just knowing that's just what we do. But taking that extra time to really focus on the skills that go into being an independent adult.
Strategizing.
Yes.
Developing those strategies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Strategizing.
So let me ask this question, because, kids at the MTEP program can stay till they're 21. Is the goal with some of your partners that some of those individuals from MTEP will actually be hired at some of the partners? And can you name some of the partner locations that people are at?
We actually, we have a lot of really great partnerships within the community, and we are always looking to build more, looking at what our student interests are, and then finding job training experience that fit those experiences. So we had a young lady, she actually has graduated, but at the start of the previous school year, she really loves working with animals, and she thought about maybe becoming a vet, but thinking about all the requirements for vet school, being a vet tech, it was not for her. But what could she do within the field of working with dogs that isn't specified to being in a veterinarian's office? And all the staff use our own personal connections to help grow our programming. And I have a dog who goes to doggy daycare, and I talked to the owner, and she said she is welcome to come. And so now that is one of our partnerships, a local doggy daycare where the students go and get the experience of working on behavioral skills with the dogs, being able to just provide them a little TLC, but also the paperwork that is involved with running a doggy daycare, organizing things, learning how to clean the stalls, take care of the animals' needs. So that's one of them.
Wow.
Chick-fil-A is one of our sites, and we actually had a young student who they wanted to employ him when he finished, but he actually lives out of state. So he got a great letter of recommendation from the boss at Chick-fil-A that he could take back to Illinois with him and use that as a reference to get a job at a fast food type of setting.
Isn't Chick-fil-A a national chain?
Yes, where he lives, there wasn't one close by.
Okay.
of course.
So he set his goal at Subway. So using those skills, because they can translate from different types of environment, the skills that he had. But we work at a local grocery store. We have Dave's Market. We have Lifetime Fitness, which is a big gym, and they are just great. They are so welcoming of our students. The staff there interact, and they treat our students when they come in like they're one of their coworkers, having conversation, making them feel welcome and a part of the team. All City Candy is another one of our partners, and our students, when they go out to work, they wear our MTEP, a green polo. So when they go out to work, you know, you got to put your work shirt on, put your best foot forward, and you are a representative of Monarch. And and once you're in your work uniform, you know, it's all business.
It's all business.
Yes, but some of our employers, they really want our students to feel like part of the team. So they actually provide work shirts, so they are wearing the same shirts as the other staff on the floor. So when our students go to Dave's Market, they wear the red polo with the Dave's embroidered. All City Candy, they wear an All City Candy t-shirt. We have a gym called Fit Body Boot Camp where they provided our students with shirts to wear that are Fit Body Boot Camp shirts while they're there.
I've heard of that gym before.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's a good place. They actually, Fit Body Boot Camp actually does an adapted workout class for individuals with special needs.
Cool.
So I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a great place. We work at the Cleveland Natural History Museum. So the young man that works there, he has to follow all the same requirements as all the different staff. He had to go in for an interview. He had to go through the training process. He has to, on days that he goes to work, he has to put on his khakis. He has to leave his shirt tucked in and be very professional to work within that environment. Some of our other, we work at Heinen's in the bakery, so they're preparing cookies, and that is always a great opportunity.
Our favorite, I'm sure.
Yes, I know. When I took students to work at the bakery, it's very hard to resist from wanting to eat them.
Especially at Heinen's.
Yeah. Oh, yes, the circus cookies.
So, question for you. Are you making then those transitions for the students when they graduate and helping make that decision with the family as to, do we need to apply to Lifeworks or can they go into, do we have any students that at this point are now fully employed by any of your partners?
At this time, we do not have any students that are employed by the training sites that we have. But It is always an option if they develop those skills. But at this moment, we currently don't have any. But when it comes time to prepare for that transition, we are meeting as the IEP team, which is the parents and including the county board, because once they leave us, they are the support system to help, and they can provide on-site job training if necessary, and then they work their way out of it to make the students or young adults as independent as possible on those job sites. But it all is very individualized. So the students can be with us 4 years. Some of our students start at Monarch when they're 19 and they're only with us for a few years. And so we want to try to provide them with as many job training experiences in the time that we have with them. So we run on a semester schedule. So the transition program, our first semester is, they have a full day. And then when we come back for second semester after the holiday break, they have new work opportunities if they're ready for a new work opportunity. Some of our students, they really require a full year to really learn a job and determine whether it's the right job for them. And then if it is, then keep working with that job site to do more within that environment to better train them. Other students, we know after a semester that the interest really isn't there, the skills aren't what they need, and we need to find something that suits them a little bit better. So we actually have a transition coordinator for Monarch who oversees all of our partnerships. So she does a really great job of reaching out to businesses in the community. So she oversees all of that process, as well as the connections with OOD and the county board. So we have a person on our team that oversees all of that.
Awesome. All right. So
All right.
that was MTEP.
Yeah.
Where's Lifeworks going in the future? I'm scared to ask because I'm sitting here going, wow.
Right.
Yes, no, Lifeworks is right on board along with the Transitional Education Program as well. So we have quite the same idea when they come over into our program. We also offer several community outings as well, where we go into the community and work on those skills as well. Like Rachel mentioned before, one of them that we do is Wholesale Supplies Plus, which is where we buy all of our products for all the Lifeworks boutique. So not only are we making the products and selling them on site at Lifeworks, we also travel to Independence, Ohio to Wholesale Supplies Plus, a warehouse out there, and they're helping bag up the items that you can buy at wholesales, help weighing out the different products, sorting through their inventory, helping count. So they are able to help with that process as well. Another location that we have partnered with is MedWish through the Cleveland Clinic, and they go on to site there and help sort through medical supplies that are actually shipped through to third world countries. So they're helping through that whole process and have a hand in that, which is one of my favorites to actually attend with the individuals. A couple other ones that we offer is Serious Strides. So similar to the dog daycare, Serious Strides, they go and they're actually working with the behaviors with the dogs as well, walking, training. Some of our some of our verbal
Yes,
individuals are able to give those verbal commands and work on those skills. Where it's also one that we're able to take some nonverbal individuals where they're able to use gesturals to command to the dogs and give them the commands to have them sit or come also. And they do some little office work there as well. So not only are they getting to spend that time with the animal, they are also working on vacuuming or sorting or filing, refilling the printer for them, setting up a coffee station. So that's definitely one of the favorites of the individuals we currently serve. Partner with Monarch as well and work on some laundry skills with them there. So similarly, where they're learning those skills at MTEP, maybe on site, they're able to transfer those skills that they learn in-house to a different company, a different outside community source, and see if they're able to transfer those skills to a different location. So they're folding towels, changing laundry from the washer to the dryer, learning those skills, amongst other employees in the community.
Here's a quick.
Sounds like it's a lot of real life experience and excitement at the same time.
Exactly, yes. So similar to MTEP, we do like to find those interests of what our individuals have and reach out to the community and see if we can't find them placements like that. One of our individuals was very interested in greenhouses and growing plants and that whole cycle. So we just started a new partnership with Green City Growers. And so they are a greenhouse right here in Cleveland, and they go and they're currently helping label the products, the clamshells that the lettuce goes into, and we're hoping that we're able to, once we kind of successfully complete that job, get into the greenhouse as well and help transfer the lettuce and the plants that they're working on in there. So getting one step in at a time and really learning that process and finding the interest there.
Awesome. So what about, I know that Monarch has people come from out of state, and it looks like a lot of these are day kind of activities that they would do.
Sure.
But, most parents would like their children to eventually live away from home.
Exactly.
Kind of thing. Do you have, housing that you're providing at Lifeworks?
We do, yes. So Lifeworks is not only a day program. We also provide residential services and community services as well. So we do have 5 group homes located in the community that we do provide services for that are fully staffed. And they're continuing working in the community and working on the same skills that they're working at the Transitional Education Program or at Lifeworks. They're able to transfer those with staff that are, trained just the same as our staff, so they're able to continue.
So we got to take a break, but when we come back, I'd like you to talk a little bit more about the independent living homes that you guys have created for students with children with autism. Thanks a lot.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy 123.
Optima Tax Relief is A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-279-6822. 800-279-6822. 800-279-6822.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Did you miss the Tom Joyner Morning Show?
How you doing, Arsenio?
If you are looking for the perfect woman, Arsenio, because you got a great FICO score, you got a great job, what would you be looking for?
Can I say something very, very important right at this moment? I think I have the perfect woman in my life right now.
Who is that?
And there's a chance that she's awake in the other room, so I have to say that.
The Tom Joyner Morning Show, weekdays 6 to 9 a.m. on News Talk Cleveland, WERE, and streaming live at blackplanetradio.com.
Hello, this is Donna Gilcher of Starfish Speaks. Join us every Sunday, 1 to 2 on WERE 1490 to discuss hot topics in education. We will talk about resources in the community that address the needs of children with disabilities and enhance the lives of parents and much more. So join us every Sunday, 1 to 2 on WERE 1490 for Starfish Speaks. If you have a question, we have answers.
WERE Cleveland Heights, WENZ HD2, and WZAK HD3 Cleveland.
Welcome back to Starfish Speaks. If you'd like to have your business or organization advertised during the Starfish Speaks, then please give us a call at 216-283-2377. We'd love to be able to advertise and have your announcements during the Starfish Speaks. All right, so when we left for break, you started to talk about some of your housing that you're doing.
Sure.
So if you could talk a little bit more about that. I didn't realize you guys, are they mostly group homes?
Currently, we have 3 group homes, in addition to what Rachel mentioned before, Monarch Hall. So Monarch Hall was the first residential program that Lifeworks started. They have currently 7 residents with the capacity for 8 in that type of setting. Monarch Hall is more like a dorm room type setting, kind of like a college dorm room. So there's a hallway with the rooms in there for the individuals, as well as a common space area, a kitchen area. So much more of a kind of dorm room setup for them there. After Monarch Hall and after Lifeworks was started, we realized the need for residential services was still there and very great. So we have opened 3 homes since then. Our homes house from 4 to 6 residents each, and do have full staff with that. They're beautiful houses located in Shaker Heights, just like you would find out in the community. The individuals do have their bedrooms set up however that they would like to. They're able to freely decorate. They have use of the kitchen, the laundry in the basement, just like you would at your typical house. So very similar to any sort of activities that we're working on at Lifeworks with them of everyday living. They're able to transfer those skills and use them at home as well. And the need is still there. So we are looking to open our 5th home as well. And like I said, all houses hold 4 to 6 people. And so
they pay rent just like they would for, if you were renting a house and...
Right, yep, that all comes through the waiver as well. But yes, they all are paid for that as well.
Can they participate in community activities? Do what? I mean...
Yep, so it would just be like, you were at home doing your own stuff as well. So they help with the grocery shopping. They go out into the park, or if they want to go to the movies one day, let's take a vote on what movie you guys want to go to and go see. And then they also participate with the Lifeworks Boutique. Some of our farmers markets or some of our events take place on the weekends. So because we do have residential facilities, we're able to still allow our guys to come out, participate in that with us. So they do. They have some more structured type outings, like the grocery store or, like the farmers market, as well as choice outings where they're able to kind of pick, what do they want to do that day with the holiday season coming up. Maybe they want to go out and look at lights, or, maybe you want to go shopping at the store or whatnot.
So
we
are
are
these
open to
co-ed
ideas.
or these single sex? How are these?
Co-ed. All houses are co-ed, correct.
Co-ed. Mm-hmm. And they can stay there indefinitely?
Correct, yes. Yep. So we go through the assessment process as well to place and see what house would be most beneficial for the individual and for the other individuals already in that house. And then, they can come and, that becomes their home for however long that they need that for.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
So, quick question. I'm going off script now, guys. So, some like Wayside, I know Our Lady of Wayside has a program that families can purchase a house and they then deed it over to Wayside, and it sort of is part of the life planning for their young adult or whatever, that child is automatically a resident of the home that they've invested in. Is that sort of what Lifeworks is doing as well?
Not similar. To my knowledge, I am not on the residential side, so I don't have all the answers specifically for residential, questions. But currently, that's not how I'm aware of that it working.
Okay.
Lifeworks goes and purchases the house themselves, I believe, as our company through Lifeworks, and that we look for whoever we think we have best placement.
Would be good matches,
as far as our guys,
and
or
stuff.
Support administrators are reaching out and looking for residential placement as well. We might be able to partner them with a residential and then feel like they're a good fit for Lifeworks as too.
Okay, so as I'm hearing this and I'm listening to this, because I know that the Monarch Boarding Academy actually will take in kids starting as young as even 9 or 10. That are from out of state. It's really possible. If I'm hearing this, Greg, help me out if I'm missing this.
I got you.
So a parent can connect with the Monarch Center for Autism with their preschooler. Can go to preschool. They can connect into the school program.
Yes.
They can stay through the MTEP program. Then they can move over to Lifeworks, and basically their child becomes part of this Monarch Center for Autism, the full lifespan.
Just depending on placement and space available. Currently, the Monarch Center for Autism is larger than Lifeworks. So, they have a lot more individuals that might be needing placement when we might not have those spots. But like I said, this coming up in January, our second location will hit its year mark. We are opening our fifth group home, so we are expanding to fill that need. But it's not a guarantee only for space sake. That we might not be able to house all of them because Monarch Center for Autism is much larger.
We are,
but I mean, when you think about long term, and I mean, we know the need is there, and if we know that we've got 50,000 kids with autism turning 18 every year. Right. And we've, the schools have done good jobs of getting these. Identification has improved. All of these things have improved. But there is this issue. What are we doing with this?
Right,
and
the
it's
adult
this
services.
very difficult, moderate to severe that becomes the most difficult to figure out how can we. And it looks like you guys have found a perfect place in the employment first model, and I'm assuming you guys are working with the state's employment first.
Correct, yes.
Wow, it's really been great.
I think it's been excellent. Just sitting here listening to it, it's like, wow.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much you guys have been doing over on that.
Yes, we've been busy.
It's busy.
All right,
It's
so
definitely busy.
we got about 2 minutes left, 2.5 minutes left. We ask all of our guests to give us 3 pieces of information they think is most important for our parents to take with us today. And so what would each of you give as your most 3 important pieces?
So I would say start thinking about transition and the adult world at a young age. It's a scary thought, but it's something to prepare and start thinking of, so you're not caught off guard when your student is 14 and it becomes part of their IEP. It's something the IEP team should be considering, goals for this child and how we can grow from preschool all the way through the day before they turn 22 when they age out of services. So really start thinking about it young, even just being open to thinking about the adult world and what is going to be a best fit for your child and how you can get involved and learn more. And in regards to that, stay connected to your county board. That's, they will be there to support you and provide you with resources. So keep those connections. Make sure that you know the process, because there's different things as your child ages that you have to do through the county. And in regards to guardianship, when they turn 18, that's something that parents have to go through if their child is independent enough to be their own legal guardian, or if they need to go through the process of guardianship. So those are conversations that need to start a little bit younger. So just keeping involved, and I guess third, just being aware of the resources in your community, knowing what your school is offering in regards to those types of skills and how they can grow. Look for webinars, different ways to access information to learn what's out there, because there is so much and it can be very overwhelming.
Yeah, and I've been sitting here thinking, there's a lot of schools that, the parents just aren't happy with the transition planning that can be done in the public school. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting here thinking, the MTEP program may be unique enough that may be a good place for parents to start looking at. Maybe the student stays in the public school till they're 18, and then they move from 18 to 21 over to MTEP, so they've got some of that. All right, Anna.
Yeah, and I'm going to follow up with Rachel. I agree with all of those, just being myself coming from the adult world, working at MTEP, and then moving over to, or the adolescent world with MTEP, moving to the adult world with Lifeworks, I was kind of able to see that transition even myself. So they are very similar, but they are very different in many ways. So just learning that early, being open with all of the individuals involved that you're talking with, whether that even be a teacher at your school, with a support administrator, even reaching out to Lifeworks or a different adult program that you have interest in ahead of time, just to get some information, get that communication rolling early, so it isn't a shock, or it doesn't come down to, I only have a couple more months to make this decision, because it is a process. It takes, a lot on both sides. And just being, aware of what your child and individual is interested in as well. And, reaching out to your community yourself and seeing if there's any way you can connect to that, and just being in tune with that and seeing how to be helpful.
Sounds like there's lots of possibilities.
Yeah.
It's almost like being an advocate, so to speak, in a lot of ways.
Right,
yeah, exactly.
Parents are our students' number one advocates.
Exactly.
Well, and that's what our December is. I mean, our December is really looking at, looking at what is out there for the adult individuals with the moderate to severe. That's what we're looking at. All right. So we have an announcement. So we thank you for always joining us on Sundays, but we want you to tell all your friends next week to join us as well. Next week, we will be doing a holiday raffle. So we'd love you to be able to join us. It's going to be a certain number that calls in. So the mystery number that we'll be giving to our engineer Tone ahead of time. So you'll never not know what it is, but please call in next week and keep listening to Starfish Speaks. This is Donna and Greg, and we're so happy to have you.
Thank you very much for listening.
Something of believing up in everything. Tell me you agree. Moving like a dancer in a perfect dream. Take my time. Wait with you. Make it last. Keep it true. I love her. Love me too. I alone know me. Something of believing up in everything. Tell me you agree. Moving like a dancer in a perfect dream. Here we go. Make a show. Take me in. When you go, day or night, follow signs. I alone know me. Something of believing up in everything. Tell me you agree. Moving like a dancer in a perfect dream. I am a dancer.
The proceeding was a paid program brought to you by Starfish Speaks. The views and opinions expressed are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of this station or its management.